Hi guys, I hope you're good. I hope you're excited for our lesson today. We are still doing factorization and we are doing something special today, which is factorizing using the difference of two squares method or the difference of squares method. Okay, so it has two names, but it means the same thing. So this is one of the amazing methods of factorizing and is also my personal favorite, and I definitely know you will like it. So grab those snacks, grab that pen and paper, let's do it. So guys, the first part of our lesson is the introduction part of difference of two squares, and it looks specifically in understanding how do you spot the difference of two squares and what does it mean. So to spot a difference of two squares, look for expressions that have the following things. So it must have two terms. So that is the minimum requirement, that you must have two terms only. And those terms must have different signs. So it means one must be positive and the other sign must be negative. And with each of those two terms being a perfect square. And if you do not understand what a perfect square means, it means I'm looking for values that if I say 1 to the power of 2, I know I'm going to get a 1. If I get 1, if I have 2 to the power of 2, I'm going to get a 4. If I have 3 to the power of 2, I must get a 9. So all these values can be written in the form of 1 times 1, or 2 times 2, or 3 times 3. We say they are perfect squares because they repeat the same number. Okay, so they repeat the same number. That is why they are called a perfect square. And I have prepared for you one amazing example, but with a bit of a twist. It has x next to it. So it says factorize the following expression. And guys, I will emphasize this and remind you that the examples that I'm giving you, they are exam type of examples, okay? So don't be surprised when you see x next to many numbers. It has to be there, it belongs there. That is why I brought it for you, okay? So we will now learn to unpack this value. So this is how we unpack this whole problem, guys. If we have 64 x squared minus 9. So the rules say you must have at least two terms. As you see, you have one term and the second term there. And you must have opposite signs. There is a positive sign there. So it's a plus 64 x squared minus 9. So you have at least opposite signs. And each term a perfect square. 64 is a perfect square because if I have 8 times 8, I get 64. So it is a perfect square. However, this 64 has x squared next to it. So it also x times x gives me x squared. That is why 8x multiplied by 8x will give you the 64x squared. Okay, so yes, we have a perfect square situation here. And 9 on the other side, it is 3 multiplied by 3, so it gives you 9. So you have perfect values there. All right, the first thing that you need to do always is opening two brackets. So you open two brackets like that, and once you open two brackets like that, you must bring down factors of the first term. So factors of 64x squared, it is 8x and 8x that you write on the other side. And factors of 9 will be, okay, before you arrive even at factors of 9, make sure you write opposite signs. Okay, you must have opposite signs. So you have a positive and a negative. So you can choose to start with negative and then write positive. Just make sure your brackets have opposite signs. And then the next thing, you write factors of 9, it is 3 and 3. So you have simply managed to get all your factors that you need, and you have done your factorization using the difference of two squares. Factors of the first term on the first part of your bracket. Factors of the second term on the second part. Separated by what? Different signs. That is it. So let's do now the second example and see what we have. So the second example says factorize the following expression while you have x squared minus 4. So you've seen on the previous example how we managed to break down x squared. So yes, it is a perfect square also, okay? So rule number 1, opening two brackets. The second part is finding factors of the first term. Factors of x squared is x and x. Separated by what? By opposite signs. So plus and minus. And the last part is breaking down factors of the last term. Factors of 4 is 2 and 2. And you have managed now to factorize using difference of two squares. So guys, going on to the third example, which is our last example, I want you to grab a pen and paper, the one that I told you to grab it from the beginning. You grab that pen and paper, you try to do this question. So just attempt it and pause the video for a second and try to do that question under 1 minute, okay? And then you come back, we do corrections together. So this is what you have, guys. For you to get the answer on this one, you must first follow the rules that we always have. Bring two brackets like that. And factors of 4x squared will be 2x and 2x. Bring back two opposite signs, plus and minus. Factors of 25. 25 can be written as 5 times 5. So it means I have to break down those values, 5 this side and 5 on the other side. And just like that, you have arrived at your destination. So guys, we were trying to find factors of 4x squared minus 25. And we've used the difference of two squares method. And this is what you have. It is not that difficult. You just need to practice. Remember, you must have perfect squares, different signs, and that's it. So guys, thank you for joining me on this lesson today, and definitely I will see you on the next one.